We're in Seoul, South Korea, which has a huge street food culture. We're going to take you on a massive halal street food tour today.
We're starting in Myeongdong, which is a shoppers and eaters paradise. This strip is lined with street food vendors. Let's go and find our first snack.
All the food we eat in this video is halal certified. Make sure you watch right to the end, because after all the street food, we go and have halal Korean barbecue. I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate. We hope you're hungry. Let's eat.
Our first street food snack here in Myeongdong is egg bread. So they take a very runny batter, almost like a cake batter. They pour it into a mold, they crack an egg on top, as you can see here. Then it gets baked into this little shape, and then you'll see these sitting on the steamers at the stands just to keep them warm. I'm just going to rip into it actually. Let's have a look at this egg. Hopefully it's not too runny. No, it's not. It's not going to spill everywhere. Oh, so look at that. So it is called egg bread, but as you can see, it's quite cakey, this base that it sits in. But that's enough chatting. Let's eat it and see what it tastes like. Oh, it's gone everywhere. So obviously it tastes like an egg. Very, very eggy from that whole egg being cracked into the batter. But the batter itself is nothing like bread to me. It's much more like almost a sponge cake or a pound cake. It's quite sweet, that batter. It's got some lovely texture from these baked bits on top. So you get some almost little crunchies from that, and then the creaminess of that egg yolk. Let's have another big bite of that egg and that cake or bread. A little bit salty, quite sweet, a little bit crunchy. I really like this as a snack. You can grab one, it's a good thing to munch on, and I love the sweet and salty element that it's got going on. And they look quite neat when they're lined up on the steamers at the stand. That's a really good start, a great little street food snack.
Next up, a food that I guarantee you will become addicted to in South Korea. This is the Hotteok. It's a sweet Korean pancake, although I like to think of it more as a donut. So a glutinous rice dough is stuffed full of sugar, cinnamon and some seeds, and then it is shallow fried in a pan of oil. This is going to be a winner. Let's give it a bite. Wow, the dough is a little bit sticky. It's quite crispy and golden, and on the inside there you can just see that filling. So it's stuffed with a sugar and cinnamon and some seeds. So there's some pine nuts, there's some black sesame seeds, and it's just all melted and oozing out. That bite didn't have much of the sugar mixture in it, so let's just give it another go. Oh, the sugar has all caramelized. You've got that hit of cinnamon, and then the seeds in there add a really fragrant aromatic flavor. So that sesame is really quite strong. That is so tasty.
Next up, we're going to grab an umuk, or a fish cake. So they're sitting in this broth at the moment, bubbling away. And the idea is you get your little cup and you grab some of the broth. So you have a little, basically a cup of soup, but it's just the broth. And you can refill that cup as much as you want. And we're here in winter time, so this is perfect to hold on to. I'm going to grab one of these fish cakes out of the broth. As you can see, it's on the stick there, all bendy and folded over. Whoa, look at that, it's steaming hot fish cake. And there's also a little spray bottle here which will have a sweet soy sauce in it. So we'll just spray a bit of that on the fish cake. Normally that would come with a brush, so you'd actually brush some of that on. And there's also some chili sauce, so I'm going to whack a bit of that on there as well. Oh, hardly coming up. I'm just going to do a nice little line back and forth. Alright, there we go. So, fish cake and some broth. Let's try some of this fish cake first. Oh, it's a little bit, it's a little bit hot, that's for sure. It's a little bit spicy, but I think that's from this broth, not from that sauce I put on. I'll just try the broth. There's a tiny spice in that broth, and it tastes very earthy, like root vegetable broth, and then a slight fishiness from the fish cake sitting in the broth. Let's have another bite of this fish cake. Oh, the really good texture. So you can see it's all soft, how it's been bent very easily onto there. So what it is one big flat fish cake, which they fold over and then push onto the stick, and that's why it has the bendy look. It's super soft, a great texture. It's not overly fishy, but obviously has that beautiful fish flavor. The broth is so warming. I love the earthiness of that broth, and that little spice, absolute winner. Yet again, another brilliant snack. This is it for our snacks. We're now going to head off and grab an actual meal, which is Korean barbecue, a classic meal here in Korea.
We've come to this Korean barbecue restaurant, and Korean barbecue is really popular in Seoul, and there are loads of restaurants, but this particular restaurant is halal certified, so all the meat and all the ingredients are halal, and we have ordered up some juicy lamb skewers. And so with Korean barbecue restaurants, the grill is on the table and you cook the meat yourself. So we've got some lamb skewers, we've got banchan, which are side dishes, so we've got a cabbage salad, like a coleslaw really. There's some kimchi, so fermented cabbage, which has got chili in it, and also I think this might be pickled radish. In addition to the meat, we've also ordered up a stew. So this is kimchi jjigae, so a kimchi stew, and we've got a couple of bowls of rice to go with that. So with the meat, basically do the cooking yourself. So we've ordered up some lamb skewers. It's basically just meat which is threaded onto this metal skewer. They had other things as well, lamb chops, lamb cutlets, but we've ordered the skewers, and they're just cooking over these hot, boiling hot charcoals. I can feel the heat emanating from this grill in front of me. What I love about Korean barbecue is that it's so interactive. So you're always cooking the meat yourself, and you can whip it off at any stage and have it exactly the way you like it. Thank you.
Like Sheena, I love Korean barbecue. This is such a cool way to eat. And these lamb skewers look amazing. They're all caramelized from being on those charcoals, and we've just pulled them off. So they're now sitting off the heat and they are ready to go. This way of eating is so popular in Korea. You see Korean barbecue places on every street corner almost. It's unbelievable how many there are. And you can always tell a Korean barbecue place because there's these hanging from the roof, and it's an extractor fan. So when it's cooking, all that smoke goes up through the extractor instead of... Whoa! You may be able to hear it's quite loud behind us. So this is halal, this restaurant, but they do serve alcohol. So there's a bit of a party going on with some local guys. So that's the noise. Now, I gotta have some of this lamb because look at it. It's all caramelized, a little bit of burnt charcoalness on the outside there. Let's strip this off the skewer. Oh, it feels really soft. Let's get that off. Oh no, I can't get it off. There we go. Get that other piece off. That's really beautiful. It looks really soft. Now they've given me some dipping sauces. This one, it looks like some sort of French mustard mayo, and this looks like sweet chili sauce. I'm not so keen on those. I'm not gonna add those to this lamb. I'm just gonna eat the lamb as is. Wow. Oh, Wow. Oh, it's just pure meat. It's beautiful. There's no like seasoning or anything. I'd say it's just had a little bit of salt. That's about it as seasoning. So it just tastes stunning. It's all crispy and crunchy on the outside. The fat in the meat is caramelized. The meat is very, very tender. Oh, that's good. I've got another big piece here. I'm gonna have it with some kimchi. So kimchi is fermented cabbage, and you'll get this with almost every meal in Korea. So let's grab a nice, let's get that one, a nice big piece of kimchi. I'm gonna put that onto my meat and have this big mouthful. It's so hot coming off these charcoals, and this is all part of the fun with Korean barbecue. It's such an interactive meal. You've got the heat, you've got the smell, and you've got these beautiful mouthfuls. Oh, that was a big mouthful. Oh, that meat is incredible. Those crunchy bits on the skewer, where it's just a tiny bit burnt, are so good. It's such good quality meat. Adding it with that kimchi though, perfect mouthful. The kimchi is a little bit spicy, it's tangy because it's fermented. Awesome, awesome experience. And I don't know if I said before, but this is, I believe, the only halal Korean barbecue in Korea. So if you want to experience Korean barbecue, and you should when you're in Korea because it's such a huge part of how they eat here, this is totally the place to come.
Alright, I'm gonna get into this lamb. It looks perfectly charred and super juicy. It's glistening. I'm gonna do the same as Thomas and just go naked with the lamb, avoid those sauces. Let's just try it for itself. I didn't get a regular mouthful. That's so good. The lamb is very tender. It has a beautiful smoky charred flavour from being on that charcoal. Oh, and it's really, really moist. It's also a little bit crispy where it's been left long on that grill. That's really tasty. I'm going to try this kimchi jjigae next. So this is a kimchi stew. So you can see it's in quite a watery broth. So it's made up of kimchi, so you can see the bits of cabbage in there. There's some tofu, and then I think there's spring onions and also tuna in here. I can see tuna flakes as well. So let's just give a bit of that broth a go. Oh, yeah, it's really tasty. It's got quite a bit of heat, so it's quite spicy, and it's got that sort of almost sour taste from the kimchi. I'm going to give a little bit of the cabbage and also the tofu and a bit of that tuna a go. I'm going to put it on my rice and spoon a little bit of that broth over as well, and just have a big old spoonful like that. See what it tastes like. It's really fresh, really lively, because you've got the hit of that chili, and then you've got that sourness from the kimchi, and then Korean rice is really dense. It's a little bit sticky, and it's the perfect accompaniment to the stews that you will find in Korea. It just soaks up all of that broth. It's so delicious.
I'm loving this lamb. It's so well cooked. And this restaurant has a lot of different cuts of lamb, not just these skewers I got, and it also has chicken on the menu. So Korean barbecue normally would be pork and beef. So obviously there's not going to be any pork at the halal one, and there's no beef either. And all this lamb is Australian lamb. I'm going to grab another piece of this kimchi, put it on that beautiful bit of lamb, and have one more big bite. Oh, oh, it's good. So tender. That's an amazing piece of lamb. And this restaurant, it really lives up to Korean barbecue for me. totally awesome. It's loud, it's fun, it smells good, the crowd's busy. It's exactly what Korean barbecue is like. So it might be the only place in Korea that is halal, but it's definitely no different to all the other places. It's a really fun restaurant to visit. That was a really good afternoon and night of eating and some great halal options. We hope that was helpful for you.
Thank you so much for watching. We really hope you enjoyed this one. Remember to head down below, hit subscribe on our YouTube channel and hit that thumbs up button. We'll see you next time. Annyeong!
Annyeong!